Hello, my friends. Welcome to your full moon in Taurus reading. And it's going to be amazing because this is actually an eclipse, so a lunar eclipse in addition to the full moon. And this is going to be happening on November 19th around 1:57 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So depending on where you're at in the world, you'll experience it, of course, at a different time if you're in a different time zone. And of course, the eclipse is when, the sun's over here, the earth is here, and the moon is over here. Normally the sun is, shining on that full moon, and so you see it as full, but then the earth gets in the way and our earth shadows over the full moon, which is where the eclipse happens. It's not going to be a full eclipse this time around, but you're going to see some shade go over the moon for a little bit during that cycle. And so, full moons are very powerful on their own, but a full moon eclipse is like a full moon on steroids. You're going to feel some energy around this where like a door slams shut. So, you might have situations that are happening in your life that reach a peak, or they've just done so. And now it's like things are out of your control. It's like your soul has signed up for some sort of growth lesson, some sort of situation to unfold to bring things to your attention. So, it's about, letting those people or situations or things either leave our lives or come into our lives. So you're going to be seeing these significant kind of endings and new beginnings. They'll be like tower type of events, what like the tower in tarot, which is, life is unfolding for you, something is being removed or being brought into your life on purpose for a purpose. So during this time, it's really good advice just to go with the flow of the change. Forgive whatever happens, knowing that, this releases you from any of those emotional extremes, because in addition to it being a full moon eclipse, it is in Taurus, and Taurus energy does bring it brings in a time of getting grounded, I guess is a good word to say it. We work through any negative feelings that we've been having or are feeling, and we find this balance in how we're expressing those emotions. So we're not being too dreamy and we're not being too serious. It's really about this grounding balance that we can take advantage of. So this, again, the full moon normally expands all our emotions and exaggerates them, with it being an eclipse, again, on steroids. So, it's kind of like the Pisces full moon we felt, which Pisces energy really brings in a lot of emotion. This is going to expand any emotions that we're feeling, but just know that there's this beautiful grounding energy available through the Taurus energy that can help balance things out to where we can see this beautiful ebb and flow of life instead of, an extreme, fearful type of event happen in our lives. So a lot of deep breathing will help. The bull is a mighty strong spirit animal as well. It sits and it doesn't really sit, it stands its ground in its territory, and people respect the bull because of how grounded and strong it is. So just tap into that energy, and it'll be a not so strenuous and extreme full moon for you. We're also going to pull a special reading for your specific sign. So we're going to jump into that right now and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about this full moon Taurus eclipse energy that's going to be coming in for you during this period. All right, all my Taurians, well, this is your reading for the Taurus full moon eclipse. And of course, with all this happening in your sign, you're going to feel the impact of all that energy in a greater way. But also, you're also going to be able to feel that grounding energy in a major way. So you're going to feel extremes, but you definitely get to remain very anchored during this time as well. So nothing to fear. This is your energy. You're used to it every day, so it'll be extreme for you, but also not as a huge impact in the scheme of things. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from these angels and ancestor oracles, because it very much has this grounding Taurian energy to them, the earth energy. So we'll see what message the Creator has for all our Taurians, and this will be for just the 3 weeks around the full moon, the week before and the 2 weeks after. So Creator, what would you like our Taurians to know? Nope, I said not those. That was just me. Butterfingers dropping things. That's the one right here. Yep, and they've got Shapeshifter. It's transform and unveil your gifts. So definitely, I love all the animal energy here. Of course, with the Shapeshifter, it's connecting to a lot of animal energies. And let's grab that here. So it says, take your time and focus on developing your gifts and your strengths. In shamanic traditions, a shapeshifter is either an animal that has the capacity to change between species, or a shaman who has the capacity to transform into an animal to go journeying. If there's a wild animal you're particularly drawn to or fascinated by, it's probably because you can transform into one in your meditation or journeying practice to go exploring in the other worlds. When you shift into animal form, you can see the world through different eyes and tap into the animal's survival skills to help yourself through a particular situation. You may have been through many challenges and lows, but now you're in a space of transformation. You're moving beyond your past challenges and honing your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents that you were born with and born to share. All of your past experiences have only helped you see how strong you really are. You're an amazing soul who can change and transform in ways that people least expect. You have many talents, and you will share those in your lifetime. You're guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. When this card arrives, there's also an opportunity for you to tap into the power of your spirit animal. Note, if you're seeing a particular animal regularly, it's because its medicine is coming to you. So definitely a lot of energy with this card about connecting to your power animal or spirit animals, that your totem. These are the animal spirits and the animal energies that have agreed to accompany you in this lifetime to help you through the challenges. They're like spirit guides, angels, guardian angels, our loved ones on the other side. There's a lot of beings of unconditional love and light that want to assist us on our path and help us with this awakening, help us remember our gifts. And this is a message from them for you to not doubt that. So as I mentioned in the book, if you have an animal that you're particularly drawn to, chances are that's your power animal, the one that has agreed to be with you over your entire life. And you do have other animal spirits, as well as their spirit guides, etc., angels that will come in and out of your life at different spots, because their expertise, I guess you could say, is what is needed, and they will come in and lend their energy, give you guidance to help you if you're open to it. So I love this for you here. Next, we're going to pull a card here from these Ancestral Path Tarot, and we're just going to pull a card here to see what the Creator wants you to know about the week before the full moon. And one more time. All right, Creator, for our Taurians, what do you want them to know about the week before this full moon eclipse? It's your card, and you have the Six of Cups. Cups are your emotions, and the Six of Cups is kind of known as the nostalgia card, where it's about looking over your past, looking over the past emotions that you felt and experiences that you've had in your life. So something about this week before this full moon, is bringing up things that have happened in your past. And it can go all the way back till childhood. But as I mentioned in the introduction, it's about these endings and these new beginnings in your life as well. So you can also look at it as getting messages from your future self or from your past self, like the little you inside of you, and your higher self, your future self, also bringing in messages about what you've gone through in your life. And what I love this energy with the shapeshifter is not only can you reshape your essence, I guess we'll call it, in who you are today, with your stronger self, your higher self, as this more adult self looking back over your past, you can go back to any situation with new knowledge, with new awareness, with new understanding. You can transform and shapeshift whatever you had gone through as well. When we discover our higher self and this higher wisdom, we can look back at situations and understand that they didn't happen as we saw it. We had limited visibility. We were a little bit foggy back then, caught up in the emotion of things. And when we go back, we can see it in a whole new way and see that life was happening for us, that situation wasn't happening to us, and that it was a mirror of some sort showing us how we felt about ourselves. So when we go back and look at those situations, we can see that other people's actions were based on the mirror they were looking into, had nothing to do with us. It had everything to do with the emotions that they were going through. And then how we saw whatever actions were going on in the outside world were through our own filters, that we, if we look at someone, like maybe someone cheated on you, and you look back and you're like, back then we defined that their actions meant that we were unlovable and not worthy to be, faithful to, blah, blah, blah. All those beautiful, delicious emotions of fear and low self-worth that we experienced, right? But as you realize that that other individual was scared, they were trying to be lovable, and whatever situation, like I know in my relationships where I was had partners that were not faithful when we had agreed to be, it was because they were unhappy on the inside, and they were trying to find happiness in whatever way that they were taught when they were growing up. And they still weren't finding it. Otherwise, they would have, if it was me that was making them unhappy, they would have found someone and been with them forever. But no, they went on to the next one and on to the next one and on to the next one. So you can see that it's not you, that it's that individual that is in that search, just like we are in that search, right? So you can go back and transform these past emotions and experiences and be that shapeshifter for those situations as you come up on that full moon. Excuse me. Now, for the week after the full moon eclipse, we're going to take some cards here from the Tarot of Dreams and just see what else the creator wants you to know about that week after the full moon eclipse. All right, creator, what else for our Taurians this week after the full moon eclipse? Okay, and to that one. Yep, so you got the Wheel of Fortune, which is the number 10, which is endings and new beginnings. And I love the Wheel of Fortune message, because what the Wheel of Fortune tells us is that before we came down here, our soul decided what it wanted to experience, when it was going to come into this game of life and when it's going to leave this game of life, what avatar, what human little avatar was going to represent it through this lifetime. And then every little experience and situation that it wanted, all these fated events that unfold through our lives. And when it's talking about like how life happens for us, not to us, this Wheel of Fortune, that's the lesson that it brings. Because within each experience, our human side still gets to choose what story it's going to put around any situation. And it also gets to choose what emotion it's going to experience during those times, whether it's going to choose an extreme emotion of fear or an extreme emotion of unconditional love or something in between. So, you know, it goes through and it has all this wheel is constantly turning and changing, but it's keeping us in timing for what we're wanting to experience in our lives as we go along. And as I mentioned, you know, the big message that comes with all that is that we're not on this out of control drama train that's going to jump the tracks and leap off into a gorge and explode in a very dramatic way. It's more like a monorail. It's just on a fixed track. It moves smoothly. It can't fly off. It's scheduled stops and experiences all along the way. So we move from this dramatic feeling of being a victim into that life happens for us and we're a victor, because everything that happens is specifically happening on purpose for a purpose. So that definitely, that awareness is beautiful coming off of these changes, because as you're looking back over your past experiences, we can get pulled into that, you know, feeling of, well, you know, that happened to me. I can't believe they did that to me. And, you know, it's this transformation out of that mentality into this new here. Yeah, because then you have the World, which is, again, this is endings to major cycles, which makes room for new beginnings. So these are perfect with one another, because, you know, this Wheel of Fortune, you know, saying that life is happening on purpose for a purpose. And this is like, okay, you've reached this point where you've come to the end of a big cycle of experiencing things in life, and you're ready for this new adventure. And you can even see in this particular deck, they put the Fool, which is the 0 card, which is the new beginning, right there in the center. So you're ready for this new movement. So I love that. And then for the second week after the full moon, we're going to pull cards here. And these are the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. We're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know. It's energies. Beautiful, beautiful. But I love this transformation of old ways of feeling into new ways, and very empowering energy for this eclipse for you. All right, Creator, for Arcturians, what do you want them to know about the second week after that full moon eclipse? And we'll be heading into the, you know, during this week, because the new moon will be happening, you know, a couple weeks after this full moon eclipse. And so this energy, you're also going to start feeling the new moon energy coming in, because we normally start feeling things like the week before, you know, like a full moon or a new moon, depending on your chart. You know, the more water you have, the more the moon cycles impact you. Like I have like a ton of water in my chart, so I kind of feel like I'm never not impacted by the moon, because it impacts me like a week and a half before. And so it's always, you know, as we're coming off of a new moon and we're going into a full moon, it's just like, whoop, nope, whoop, nope, nope. I never like go down to nothing. It seems I'm always dreaming. So if you have a lot of water in your chart, you know what I'm talking about too. Beautiful. And so here you have the King of Cups. And the King of Cups, he offers you here the chalice, the Holy Grail. And what's in that is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things, which is the living waters that really quenches our thirst and gives us what we're really searching for. The other cup up here that he's like letting go is like these 6 of Cups, where there's these old experiences, these old emotions that are based in the conditional world. all those fear-based emotions that we've experienced in the past. Again, on purpose, for a purpose. It's not like, oh, I shouldn't have experienced all that stuff. Well, you did. So obviously you were supposed to, because this was your will. This was your plan and your soul, like we talked about in the introduction for this reading. Your soul had plans on how it wanted to do things and what it wanted to experience. And this King of Cups is this, with this new beginning and this new awareness and this reflection on the past, you really are connecting to this higher level of love within you, this higher level of worth within you. And the King, cups again are emotions. So the King being at the end of that suit, he's gone through the Two of Cups all the way up to the King. So he's learned a lot along the way. It's like someone who's started in a business at entry level and has worked their way all up to be the CEO. They've experienced all of the ins and outs of that suit. And because of that, he understands that making choices strictly by emotions, especially emotions of the past. You can see here he's got this little tentacle, like an octopus that's wrapped around it. It's like it can keep you locked into old ways of thinking, old ways of feeling. If we strictly are making decisions and ruling our lives just by emotion. He has learned that bringing this beautiful balance, again, like we also talked about in the introduction, this balance between heart and mind. This is the heart piece, but he's learned that, bringing mind into it also is an important piece of that. Yeah, in the Tower. And I was going to mention that with this wheel here. I had a feeling the Tower was going to come up. But you can see, it's like this lightning bolt that has happened here. I love the way they interpret this because they have the big eye in the sky, which is where the lightning is coming from. And it has the embracing the Tower here. So, when I was talking about the Wheel of Fortune with all these fated events that are happening in your life, when you have a situation, whether it could be a relationship, either romantic or family or friend or coworker, some sort of relationship with another human being is in your life, or it could be a circumstance like a job or education, some sort of social status or something like that, or a possession, some sort of physical thing, whether it's your body or your finances or a home or car, something. There's this thing that's in your life that you've had on purpose up to this point, but in order for you to experience all these other things afterwards that you want to in this life, this thing has to change. This thing needs to be removed out of your life, out of being on your path or in an important place in your life. So if you're in tune with Spirit and you're being quiet and taking time away from all the fear noise, and you're in tune, raising your vibration to that of Spirit, which is unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. If you're at that frequency, you'll be able to hear the countdown before the lightning bolt strikes, the 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can choose to remove that obstacle, anywhere between the 5, the 4, the 3, the 2, the 1. And there's no shame on experiencing the shock treatment of the lightning bolt, because a lot of us do. We want that full experience all the way right up to it. So when this Tower moment happens where this thing is removed for us, right, then we understand, and that's what we talked about, totally in the introduction of this, is this whole Tower moment, that things have ran its course. Right now, things are being brought into your life and taken out of your life for a reason, on purpose, for a purpose, and that you can flow with that, just knowing that it's happening for you. So it's like this beautiful progression. The week before the full moon eclipse, you're having some sort of emotion or emotions rise from your past with all that expansive, beautiful, emotional energy around the full moon, and the full moon on steroids with that, being an eclipse. And then you're seeing that there's this pattern ending, and you're understanding that things are happening for a reason, and then this obstacle is being moved out. But you're also feeling this beautiful, beautiful, unconditional love, in that chalice from the king, understanding that there's this balance that's coming in, and that if something's being removed, it just means something amazing is going to come in and take its place. So beautiful, beautiful energy coming in here for you, Taurus. And again, like I mentioned, because you are a Taurian, and this is all this Taurus energy coming into this eclipse, you can handle it all. You're going to go with the flow very easily in comparison to the other signs that don't have any kind of Taurus influence in their charts. And so nothing to fear, just beautiful, beautiful transformation and awarenesses as you see things come in and out of your life during this 3-week period. At least that's when it's all going to start. It may take a little more time for things to fully move in, but at least you're aware of something leaving and something coming in during this 3-week period. All right, I love it. And just know as you're going through all this too, that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things, every second of every day. Right, I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by zodiac sign, also weekly by each of the elements, so like fire signs and water signs, and a variety of other, videos throughout the month. So if you want to be included in those when they come out and get notified, if you haven't done so already, if you click the subscribe button down below, then that's going to make this little bell icon pop up. And if you click on that, then you'll get notified when they come out. So easy breezy. All right. Well, just know that I also love you dearly, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.